Good morning, card meanies. RJ back with another video, so let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day, a little bit of a rant. I know a lot of us complain these days when baseball card companies make reprint cards and don't clearly label the reprints, but they've been doing it for years, sadly. So let's take a look at one Mike Schmidt card that has several, I'll call the word variations, but they didn't do enough to make it unique or distinguished. So, 1986 Topps card, your basic Topps card. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Cardboard back, number to 200. Mike's career stats on the back. Now, many of us are also familiar with two variations of this card at all times. You have your OPG variation. Not always, but often a different number, because OPT did not always mirror the exact number of cards in a Topps set. In this case, the 1986 set did not number the same total number of cards as the Topps set. However, the Mike Schmidt card garnered number 200 in both sets. The other one we are all quite familiar with and used to seeing is the Topps Tiffany variation. The Tiffany variation, let me get in the light a bit, is a little bit more glossy than the standard Topps card. And it has a more white cardboard stock back than the original card, but the copyright date down there is similar, 1988. Now, recently, card companies have begun putting all kinds of bizarre insert sets in there, and Topps got into a big kerfuffle a couple years ago when they put in a series of tributes to very valuable cards of their past. They did put a frame around it to differentiate it, but it still looked exactly the same, including autographs and relics and everything, and everybody got very excited. So you can imagine when you pulled this in 2010, you almost thought you got a 1986 Topps card, but you actually got a card from 2010. And then you turn it over, and then you saw this one. It would say cards your mom threw out. And then it's possible that you would pull this one. Now, this one has the same back as the Tiffany version, essentially. Now, it's completely different printing. Looks different to when you compare them, but without this as a comparison, there's nothing to differentiate this from any other 1986 Topps or Topps Tiffany card, unless you read the fine print, which showed you that these two cards were issued in 2010, both as part of the Cards Your Mom Threw Out version. One at least had a different back. The other was specifically called original backs. So perhaps they weren't trying to. Perhaps it was done in a way to differentiate it, but I don't think Topps did enough. And I think still to this day, sometimes these card companies do not do enough to differentiate special cards or reprinted cards from their original versions. Just this man's opinion. Today's random baseball item of the day. A lot of people have shown off this card. I just think it's a cool card. 1975 Bert Blyleven, Blowing the Bubble. I know there's somebody out there, I can't remember which YouTuber, and I've seen him, has a collection of people chewing gum and blowing bubbles captured on baseball cards, and the Bert Blyleven is a prime card in that person's collection. So, awesome little Bert Blyleven 1975 card. Today's trivia question, very interesting trivia question. When I tell you all the information, you should be able to Google the incident. Let's see if you can figure out the answer to the question, though. September 2nd, 1880, two teams in Hull, that's Hull, Massachusetts, two local department store baseball teams gathered on a field to play a game. This happened, like I said, September 2nd, 1880. what was very unique and a first for all of baseball that happened at this game? That is your question. What you're playing for, still two more cards from the Topps Gallery 2003 Hall of Fame edition. Two Milwaukee teams, although this is actually the Atlanta Braves. Milwaukee did host the Braves at one time. And here's your Milwaukee Brewers. So Robin Yount and Phil Niekro, two awesome cards for you. If you can tell me the answer to that question. So send me an email. I will include my email in the description below along with a repeat of that question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer, and we will pick a winner on Sunday. All right. Today, what I want to show off, recently I acquired, I should say it was finally sent to me when I purchased them, the Rickwood collection. So, a couple months ago, Topps started releasing once a week 4 cards of former Negro League players. So let's look at who we got here. Satchel Paige. Now, when I buy these Topps Now products, typically I will buy the 5-pack, and there's a reason for that. One is sometimes I'll see if the value goes up at all and sell the extras. Most of the times, though, I will just give away the extras as I see fit over the course of time. So this is the Kansas City Monarchs Satchel Paige Rickwood Field version. Now they came sealed in a silver concealed pack. You didn't know what you got. Inside a red cover. Let me show you here. You get this red thing right here. Inside there would be the card. It would come encased in bubble wrap as well. But the card itself was sealed in a silver foil so that you could not tell if it was a random numbered one. I'll talk more about that in a second. So this is the Satchel Paige version. You can see this was number 1. All right. Number 2 was Josh Gibson. Again, I bought a 5-pack of this as well. Got a great bio of them all in the back. He's listed as being with Pittsburgh Crawford on this one. Obviously, the Negro League players played for a lot of different teams in their day. Card number 3 was your Jackie Robinson. Now, these are art cards, so this is not a photo. The artist just showed his KC Monarchs logo hat up there. I can't recall if Jackie played for any other Negro League team in his brief career. But anyway, there he is. Jackie Robinson. And the last one in the 4-card release was Willie Mays. He's on the Baltimore Elite Giants, I do believe, or what does it say? Oh, the Birmingham Black Barons. Forgive me on that one. So Rickwood Field, because they do make a big point that he played in Rickwood Field, and he was going to be at that game until he died like a week earlier, if you remember, just this year. So the Birmingham Black Barons, Willie Mays. That is your 4-card set. Now, interestingly, Topps, after the 4-card issue, they also released a boxed set of 6 cards. That confused me because I never recall a release of 6 cards. I only recall the release of those 4. Turns out, if you bought the 6-pack, you got 2 additional cards. One of Larry Doby and one of Monty Irvin. Now those cards, unlike these, had a blue background. These have a red background here around the player's image. The ones of Doby and Irvin had a blue background. So I'm going to have to get those on my own, but unfortunately I see that the price they're going for is like $50 a card, so it'll be difficult right away to snag that, but I'll get it eventually. The other thing, of course, is that these cards, all of them, came in parallel versions. There were many parallels, not so much autos, but definitely parallels. And I was lucky enough to snag a parallel. What was interesting is I purchased 5 in each card. I bought a 5-pack. It was a little cheaper than getting 5 individual cards. I get a 5-pack, get a little discount on the per card price. And I assumed that when I got it, what I get is one of the 5, if I was so inclined, would have been in the foil pack and would have been the randomly, serial numbered card or whatever. In fact, when I did get a serial numbered card, a parallel version. It was extra. I actually got 6 cards of this player. One of them was the random one. The other 5 were normal. That player, Mr. Josh Gibson, I got the silver version as well, numbered to 99. I thought about selling this, but right now it's just not. It's looking like it's not going for a decent price or a huge price. It's card number 3. That's kind of cool. Low number. Maybe I'll sell it. I don't know. Maybe I'll hold it and give away as a cool prize somewhere down the road. I do not know what I will do with this card, but it's kind of cool. I love that. In fact, I was enjoying watching Shane, Shoebox Legends. If you haven't seen his channel recently, check it out. But right around the time of Rickwood, he was, or a lot of, I should say, often this year, Shane has been showcasing Legends of the Negro Leagues that are a part of his collection. I myself have 2 card sets highlighting the Negro Leagues. 1983, I believe, Larry Fritsch Card Company released a set of Negro League cards, and then just in 2020, there was an art card set dedicated as a fundraiser for the Negro League Hall of Fame Museum down in Louisville. So, or I should say Kansas City, I believe, actually. It's in Kansas City. And I purchased that set. So I do have 2 sets of cards highlighting Negro League players, but I've been eyeing up a couple more. But Shane's been doing it well. For a while, he's got all kinds of bizarre cards, interesting cards. And I reached out to him the other day and I said, hey, did you get the Rickwood card sets? And he said he did not. So I have boxed up a 4-pack, and I'll be shipping that off to Shane. And it'll be on him on his own to get those other 2 cards if he's so inclined. But that's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed that. Do consider getting some of these Rickwood cards if you get a chance. I think they're really cool. It's a good thing to have in my collection. I'm happy to have it. They'll stay a good part of my overall collection for years to come. That's all I have for you today. Come back again one more time on Friday for another trivia and an awesome showcase. I'm going to rip a small box of something or other on Friday, so hope to see you there, all right? Have a great rest of your week, and take care.